All right, let's talk about seating charts. Seating charts are one of the most powerful and underutilized tools in the teacher's toolbox as far as classroom discipline goes. You're taking a look at a diagram of my classroom right now. Essentially, I'm going to fire up my laser pointer here. This is the front of the classroom. This is the back of the classroom. I mentioned I put my desk in the back so that the students, when they're turning around, they have to turn around in order to misbehave to see what I'm doing. And the moment they do that, I stop the behavior. In this instance right here, we have, this is a row of seats, a row of seats, row of seats. You get the picture. One of the things I used to do in my grade book that you can do is I actually kept my grades in them for a hard copy. Here's test one, test two, test three, test four. Your student name would go here, and I would write down attendance. And if there was something special about this student, let's say the person had a visual need, I would make a note of that and I would put a note, a code only I would understand as far as the student goes. Maybe put a little V right here, and that's why this person is in the very front of the room. Once had a girl who was deaf that was in my room. I had her back at my desk, put a little A for auditory, so that she was closer to me. She also had a little device that connected to her ear so she could hear me better. So she wasn't completely deaf. She was just very, very hard of hearing. So I can make notes of that. If I have somebody who has an emergency issue, like they're allergic to peanuts or something, I can put their information in here that this student right here has some sort of an emergency card on file that we need to be aware of. These are all important things. And again, we haven't even started with classroom discipline yet. But let's say students 1, 2, and 3 are talking while I'm talking. Typically, what I'll do is give them a warning. I'll say, students 1, 2, and 3, you guys are talking while I'm talking. That's rude. You need to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move you. Just like us, once a student gets familiar with a desk, they don't want to be moved after a couple of weeks. It bothers them a little bit. So students 1, 2, and 3 are talking again, and I give them the second warning. I say, look, guys, you guys need to get on task, or I'm going to have to make some switches. Let's say that lasts for about another 5 minutes, and then at that point, you realize you're going to have to do something. So you do something about it. And what I do in this particular case, I'll move student 1 over to this seat and have the person in that seat move to where student 1 is. I'll have student 2 move over into this seat, have that person switch with student 2. And student 3 has a tendency to need to be redirected to learning quite often. So I'll take student 3 and move student 3 one desk closer to me so that we are able to address that when necessary. So by changing the proximity of these students with each other, I have effectively done quite a bit of classroom management and prevented further problems from occurring. Now, I had a student one year, he's like, Mr. Cole, you guys, we all know each other here so well. There's no way this is going to work. And it was my first year teaching. I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but it worked like a charm. As teachers, we get to know these students a lot of times as well or better than their parents even know them. So what I did with that particular student is, in this case, I actually knew this student right here was very, very quiet. This student over here always did her work. And I did the same thing. So I took student 1, who was being disruptive, moved him into between 2 quiet people, and he couldn't engage them in conversation. I did the same thing with students 2 and 3. Again, a powerful tool. You can use this as a reward. So let's say you have a seating chart. On Fridays, you can say if everybody gets their homework done and we have a 100% on task Thursday, everybody can sit where they want on Friday and use it as a reward and a sense of motivation so that they get excited. If you have a substitute, all of this is valuable information for the sub. The sub can see where the visual impaired person is, where the auditory person is. If you have an emergency card on file for a student, all of that's right there for you. So very, very valuable tool in so many different ways. And the added bonus, you're going to learn their names a lot faster than if you don't have a seating chart. So again, this is my case for the seating chart, but it is an underutilized tool that's very, very powerful. If you learned anything from this video, please consider hitting the like button below so that the information gets out. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm planning on pumping out about 60 videos or so this year talking about different tools. Like one of the things I'm going to talk about is parent phone calls. And it's not as simple as you might think. It's not just calling home to complain about the students. I'm going to go into great depth about how you can use it to build positive rapport. And again, in this particular case, we're learning about the seating chart. So please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're a teacher, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you do. At the end of the day, it's the most powerful, most influential job in the world. And what we do changes lives. We're here about saving kids and helping them become productive citizens. That's the goal here. And again, thank you. Thank you for doing that. You're all heroes. And I am proud to serve along with you. And thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you on the next Colster's Corner.